the universe. An endless amount of stars, planets, gases, and dust that make up existence itself. Since the beginning of man, we have tried to understand and explain the meaning or origin of it all. Today I'd like to reveal to you the true depth and nature of the universe. While proving this may take quite a bit of work and debating, I can at least provide you some evidence today. To start, I would like to say that the universe itself, and matter itself, is repetitive, in that it follows the same pattern or design, again and again, in different stages and sizes. This would show something of a law of existence for matter. A law where, for matter to exist, it must follow these basic rules that you find in everything from an atom to a solar system and beyond. Now, this design of existence is like that of an atom, in that it has a positive core and electrons orbiting this positive core. This is also the same for a solar system. You have a positive core, the Sun, with these non-positive planets orbiting it. Now you will see as the size increases it seems to be less clear, but you can still see the same basics. In a galaxy you see a bright light at a core and millions of stars orbiting it. And in the universe itself you see the entire galaxies orbiting the center. That's because all of these are bound to and follow the law of existence. This law gives them certain attributes and characteristics that will remain the same despite the scope or size of the individual element. Now the relation between an atom and a solar system is because they are the same thing, just on different levels. Now currently it is said that this is disproven by quantum mathematics, and that quantum mathematics shows that an electron does not follow the same orbital pattern as a planet, but then they also say that it is impossible to pinpoint exactly where an electron is at any one moment. So literally what they are saying is that there's no way an electron could be following an orbit. But at the same time, they're saying that we have no idea what an electron is doing. Now recently they were able to take a picture of a hydrogen atom for the first time. In this picture you can clearly see that the electron is in fact following an orbital pattern. You can see by the definition of a center core and an outer ring. If it was not following an orbital pattern, you would not see an orbital ring, but instead you would see an orbital mass that would encompass the entire thing. Now whatever the case, throughout the history of mathematics and chemistry, we have had theories and formulas that worked at the time and allowed us to do greater things than we previously could, but were ultimately shown that some part of them were flawed. And after we fixed this, we were able to achieve even greater things. I believe this is the case here. So let's look at an atom in a solar system and compare the similarities. An atom is made up of subatomic particles, protons, neutrons, and electrons. The protons and neutrons make up the center of the atom, called the nucleus, and the electrons fly around the nucleus. The solar system is made up of the Sun, mostly made up of gases in different stages of burning or nuclear reactions, and the planets orbiting it. Now this first basic similarity with both the solar system, Sun, and an atom's nucleus being the same, some may argue that they are not the same, that a Sun is a gas and a nucleus protons and neutrons. It is likely that these differences are not differences at all, but only our ability to see and study them. We do not currently have the technology that could identify that which makes up an atom, but if we could shrink a star to the size of an atom and enlarge an atom to the size of a star, we would find the same results. Now another similarity between solar systems and atoms, aside from the makeup of the both, would be the rotation of their satellites, or planets. In an atom, the electrons will fall in shells, and the number of electrons in these shells can cause the atom to be stable or unstable. Now in these shells, it has been determined that electrons have a certain spin. In the first shell, there are 2 electrons, and these electrons will always have opposite spins, one spinning clockwise and one spinning counterclockwise, with their north and south poles corresponding to their spin. Now when we look to our own solar system and look to the first 2 planets, we see that Mercury spins counterclockwise, with its north pole facing the same direction as our own, and Venus spins clockwise, with its north pole pointing to our south. Now with this you start to see evidence building that an atom is the same as a solar system. Of course, before proof can be obtained, more evidence will be needed, and maybe even some mathematical formulas may need to be adjusted, but it is there. Now then, some have argued that electrons cannot be spinning because to do so, they would have to be moving somewhere around 100 times the speed of light, and they already believe that it's impossible to move beyond the speed of light. But isn't the fact that they do have a north and south pole evidence of their spin? Now take in mind the time dilation experiment. In this experiment, 2 atomic clocks were set to exactly the same time, and one was raced around the world in a jet while the other stayed where it was. When the jet returned, the 2 clocks were no longer in sync. With this, they determined that time speeds up as your speed does. Now this means that an electron spinning at beyond the speed of light would also have its time sped up, most likely to a point where it is similar to our own. Now taking this concept that an atom, a solar system, a galaxy, and the universe itself all follow the same basic laws of existence, and that they're going to have the same characteristics and attributes as the other ones, you can study them and learn from each of them and apply it to the others, allowing you to advance your knowledge well beyond the knowledge that you could learn otherwise. Now with all this, if you want to understand the origins of the universe, you need only look at the life cycle of a star. That in the beginning, a star is born from a nebula of gases, collapsing into its own gravity until the sheer weight of it ignites nuclear reactions that make it a fiery ball. And as the star burns off its gases, it explodes, leaving a black hole at its center. Then eventually this black hole will reabsorb enough matter, crushing it all back down to its base elements, and in some manner explode, leaving massive clouds of gas to form a new star. So, taking this in mind with the Big Bang Theory, you see that our entire seen universe is simply the dying of a single star, and our solar system, nothing more than an atom whose time moves so fast that we can watch the explosion of the star in extreme slow motion, and that our entire universe is simply another step in an unending chain of existence. This may be hard for some people to accept, that our level of the universe is not the main level or only level of the universe. That atoms are like solar systems, and some of them can even contain life, where entire civilizations rise and fall in a matter of seconds on our level of the universe. That our solar system is nothing more than an atom in a much larger realm of existence that moves so slowly we would barely see it move, if at all.